Hi, Jacques here, working as a Christian pastor with one thought to help you do love well. One of my favorite comics to read while I was growing up was the Asterix comics. If you don't know what I'm referring to, do yourself a favor and read them. The humor contained in them is brilliant. In one of these comics, the 12 tasks of Asterix, Asterix is tasked to find permit A38 in some bureaucratic department building. The building was notorious for driving people mad. What made it so funny was that all of us have bumped at some stage into bureaucracy, where someone with the power to help us decided not to because there was some rule that they chose to follow. You sometimes do have to feel for bureaucrats, because with all the corruption going on, they are evaluated whether they have followed the rules, and yet the rules can keep them from doing the very thing that they were appointed and supposed to do, to serve people. Rules can easily become a place to hide behind, a place that absolves us from responsibility, and it makes it someone else's problem. It removes us from the situation. This happens when we forget why the rule is there, and when we make the rule more important than the person. One day Jesus wanted to heal a man on the Sabbath, a holy day for the Jewish people, on which it was unlawful to work, and his enemies were watching to see what he was going to do. Was he going to break the rules? He actually got angry at them, and he pointed out that if they had a sheep that fell into a pit, they would not care whether it was the Sabbath or not. They would just pull the sheep out because it was theirs. You and I deal very differently with situations and people that are closer to us than someone or something that is distant. And bureaucracy, rules, creates distance. Compassion flows out of connection. So here's a question for you. Who are you keeping at an arm's length? Keeping your distance from, or even maybe hiding behind the rules? What about opening your heart and hearing something of their story? Experiencing something of what it feels like to walk in their shoes? If we are open to those around us, and we choose not to keep them at a distance, we have to acknowledge it can become messy and there are risks of exploitation. But we will find ourselves overwhelmed by compassion as we open our hearts and close the gap. And this is something that I want you to experience. Something of God's heart. So I want to challenge you today. Open your heart to the people that you're trying to keep at a distance. And if you've got rules that you have to follow, do the heart of the rules. But allow God's compassion to flow through you today. See you soon.